Hello there. Here we are with issue 22, and let's go ahead and have a quick look. We're going to learn about the Lambda class shuttle. We briefly touched on it in the last bonus issue where we talked about the T-16 Skyhopper, and the Lambda class was inspired by that. We're going to talk about Polis Mesas. This is going to be a little bit more interesting than what I think Felicia was. And then we'll get into the Honks Wargle main computer, and that's the computer for the T or the YT 1300, and specifically we'll talk a little bit about the supercomputer for the Millennium Falcon. So here we are with our next parts. Let's go ahead and pull those out. And we have those here. So we have our cushions. We have our framework. Set that over here with the rest of the framework. And then we have screws and our two little brackets here. So I have a square one and a rectangular one. We'll throw those off to the side. Here's our cushions. Get our bag out of the road. Alright, so let's go ahead and have a quick look. And as I thought, we're going to be doing the cushions here. So I deeply thought about actually trying to paint these on the sprue before I cut them out. But then that would require me to then clean up the edges and then paint the edges. And the reason why I don't like that is because I'll be handling these, and plus I'll want to clean them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out before we actually get going. So let me get these stuck off to the side here, and let's go ahead and get these things cut out, and we'll move on from there. Okay, so I got them all cut out. Let's clean up the edges, and then we can go wash them. I'm going to use my medium sanding pad, and it seems to do pretty good. I don't know if you can hear that, but one of my puppy dogs are upstairs just losing her mind. Probably sees a squirrel or something she wants to go chase. It's really weird because I've had, since I've been married, I've had 5 dogs. 6 technically. The one we only had for a short while before she was kind of given away. Anyway, so virtually every dog we've had 2 Boston Terriers, and then we've had 2 Shih Tzu mixes. One is a Shih Tzu Japchin mix. The other one is a Shih Tzu Bichon mix. And now we've got, I think, a Dachshund mix, and I don't know what it's mixed with. but we kind of prefer the smaller dogs because then we can have them inside and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's kind of funny because our first Boston, she always made sure that the squirrels were out of the yard. And the second Boston, she didn't really care. She wasn't much of a player or nothing like that. The really weird thing was she would chase birds out of the yard, and but she didn't really care about the squirrels. Well, the oldest Boston taught, so Tootsie Roll was the oldest Boston. Uh, Oreo, the youngest Boston, she, Toots did not teach Oreo very well. But when we got Lily, the first Shih Tzu mix, the Jap Chin Shih Tzu mix, um, Toots taught Lily how to chase the squirrels. Well, then we lost Toots to um, basically end up being a side effects of diabetes, and diagnosed it way too late. Had taken her to the vet a couple times for different things, and they were like, oh, well, here's some antibiotics and some stuff to settle her stomach. And turns out she had diabetes for well over a year before it got diagnosed, which was very frustrating because, would have probably helped the outcome a lot better. And, by the end she was blind and, all that kind of stuff. And it was pretty horrible. But she taught Lily to chase the squirrels. Well, then, not long after that, less than a year, we lost Oreo due to renal kidney failure, and that was pretty sad. Well, then we ended up getting Hershey. I don't know if you noticed a trend here. We've got 3 of the 4 dogs I've mentioned so far have names that are synonymous with candies or something like that, right? Especially chocolate flavor stuff. I don't know why. But so Hershey, my daughter's dog, she is the Shih Tzu Bichon mix, also known as a teddy bear apparently, because their face looks very much like a teddy bear. And Lily taught Hershey to chase the squirrels. And so, but as soon as Hershey started chasing the squirrels, Lily stopped. Lily's like, okay, I've passed this on. I don't need to do it anymore. Well, then we got Jazzy, who is the Dachshund whatever mix, I'm not sure. And Hershey taught Jazzy to chase the squirrels. And as soon as Jazzy started chasing the squirrels, Hershey stopped. So I don't know what it is. Like, soon as the older dog teaches the younger dog to do it, they stop doing it. So, but as a result, Jazzy likes to sit there and bark at the window and go after the squirrels. So, I would imagine Jazzy she probably chases after birds and stuff in the yard. I know we get some rabbits from time to time, and she'll chase after those as well. Our dogs are very protective of the yard, but it's funny because as the older dogs get older, they seem to care less. They're just like, yeah, okay, I'm just out here doing my business, or I'm playing, or whatever. That squirrel over there, or that bird is not bothering me any, so I'm just going to let it be. That's what I always thought was kind of comical. You guys have anything like that where you have the older dogs teaching your younger dogs to do certain things? I think that's kind of cool. It's, uh, it kind of shows how even dogs will teach each other different things because, and I know they're teaching them because initially, let's say when we let Lily outside if we happen to let her outside by herself and the squirrel's there, she didn't seem to care. It was like, yeah, okay, there's this other thing. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm going to just go do my business and get back inside. Well, then she saw that Toots would chase after those squirrels. She would, make sure that the squirrels were up the tree. She'd run around the tree to make sure that they would stay up there. She'd chase them down the fence, something. Make sure that they were not anywhere near the yard. In fact, Toots would sit there and stare at him up in the tree while the squirrel would be sitting there jabbering at him. I always thought that was kind of funny. But Lily didn't do anything until Toots really started kind of showing her that. And but then it became Lily's job to take care of the yard until Hershey came along. Once Hershey started picking it up, Lily's like, okay, I'll pass this on to the young pup here. I don't have to do this anymore. She knew that the yard was in good hands, I guess. I thought that was just kind of funny. Kind of cool. Shows that dogs can teach and can, obviously we know that they can learn, but we know that they can teach, and like their whole thing is protection, right? They're protecting their pack, and those squirrels are invading in the pack space, I guess. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Almost done here. All right, so we've had a little talk about our dogs, or my dogs. Let me know in the comments if you guys have dogs and if your dogs do similar things. All right, so I'm going to take these and go wash them. And then once they're washed, we can get them painted up and get them attached. So I'll see you when I get back. Okay, we're back. So here we have our cushions. I'm going to get these bad boys painted up, and I'm going to try something a little bit different. We'll try it on maybe a smaller piece or something, but something I want to try in regards to the let me get something to wipe my brush off over here. The black paint. So let's go ahead and get started and see how this goes. Like I said, we're going to try something a little bit different on the black. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll see. So just like before, I'm going to hold on to one end and I'll paint everything but that one end, and then we'll come back, and after they've had a chance to dry up, we'll come back and paint those ends that I'm holding on to. So one of the things I realized is I try to overuse these micro brushes. They're not meant for like repeated non-stop use. This brush gets a little worn out and that kind of stuff. So you have to make sure that you replace it and swap it out often. So that way you're getting kind of more consistent results, I guess. What I'm looking for. And when the brush starts getting worn out, it doesn't hardly take any paint into it. So something I'm trying as well is trying a little bit of water. Thin out the paint a little bit. This is the first time I'm trying it on this piece here. And so that way it might save me needing to come back and do any kind of touch-up. It might give me more subtle effect. I guess we'll see. We'll start off with some black. And then let's try a little bit of water. Alright, so last thing to do is we'll come back. I'll let these dry a little bit. I'm going to come back and I'm going to touch them up with the brown, and these should be done and ready to put on. So, be back in a few. Alright, so here we are. We've got our brown. We're gonna do a light, nothing like dropping the paint. I'm gonna do a light kind of touch up, especially for these ones that are extremely dark. I'll touch these up a little bit. Alright, that should be all of them. Maybe. Every time I say that, I find like one that I didn't touch. And I just want to tone down the like super harsh spots, you know? There we go. That's it. That's everything. And that should take care of it all. Alright, so we'll let those dry and then we'll get them all put in. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to put these cushions on now. And the bottom part of this and this issue will be done. So let me just go through the magazine first. So they give us a lot more than what we need. I suppose that's all right. So we need just the outside pieces. I don't know which ones are which, but I'm assuming, let's just put them all side by side here, that they're all the same. And then obviously these ones are going to go, and these ones. I don't see a difference in these. So I don't think it matters. I will dry fit all of these first and make sure. But here's the magazine that's telling me to use the outside ones. I don't know what the difference is. I'll dry fit them just to make sure. And then it's just a matter of putting those 8 pieces on. And that is the end of that issue. So let's just dry fit these real quick. Make sure they all fit the way that we want them to. And, I think it does. I think it does. If it doesn't, I always thought it should have. And these ones are pretty self-explanatory. So we just need to get a little bit on there so we can put this on, and then that way when we get the top, it goes on easily. So it's more the bottom ones I want to make sure fit fine. Those are a bit loose. And I'm going to push these as far down as I can towards the bottom, and that will hopefully give us a little bit of gap there. So I don't know. Those must be for the top, maybe, but I thought we got cushions for the top. Maybe not. All right, I had tape. What did I do with my tape? Oh no. My tape is gone. Huh. I just had some tape earlier. It fell into the trash can. That was a nice shot. Perfect bank shot. So we all know how this is going to work. I'm going to get my tape out there so I can get some glue. We're going to use a micro brush. And one little dollop of glue should do it. There we go. Alright, so we're going to start at the bottom and work our way across. And should go pretty easily. There's that one. So in this video, or this episode, I think I'm going to show everything. So I went ahead and recorded the part where I was cutting out the pieces, and then the part where I filed them, the painting obviously, and then this part. So I'm curious, do you guys like seeing the whole thing? I mean, I'm going to speed it up because I know, like right now, I think I've already got like 50 minutes recorded, something like that. Not counting what I'm recording now. I mean, so just curious if you guys like seeing all that. Leave a comment down below. And at the end of this video, and let me know what you think of this kind of format. So a lot of this stuff I was doing off camera, but I thought, hey, why not just speed it up? And that way you guys can still see everything. It's just that you know, you still see it. It's just sped up. So just curious what you guys think of that. Now these ones here I'll have to hold a little bit more until that glue takes place. And see, there's more of a gap. On this side wasn't much of a gap because I didn't make sure I was all the way down with the bottom ones. So I like the fact that I got more gap there. Hold that. Hold, hold, hold! There we go. So if anybody's watching, you guys ever did any models? Kind of curious, what kind of models did you do? Do you still do any models at all? Even like simple ones. So I used to do car models when I was in my ute. And the old classic muscle cars. I did a 63 Corvette. I painted copper, like a copper. I really liked that one. That one came out really well. At least I thought it did at the time. I was only about 12-ish. And I did a 67 GTO, which coincidentally is my favorite GTO. That one did not get into the holes. For some reason I don't think this one got in the holes either. It's alright. It's the Falcon. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I did a 56 Chevy for my uncle. That was his first car. I was very close with my uncle, so I wanted to make sure that I did something special for him. Alright, well there it is. What do you guys think? You can see where this one cushion is a bit crooked there. And I'm not actually that upset about it being crooked because it is the Falcon. And it's got, it is known as the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. So it kind of stands to reason that there might be a cushion or two that's not in the right position or not put on correctly or whatever. So I'm actually pretty good with that. The sides, both sides look pretty good. This side you'll obviously see, and you'll have to look down to see that side, and then you can see this one. So that is the conclusion of this episode. We have 4 cushions left. That's probably issue 23, where we get the top part, the ring. We're going to get, another piece of pie that we already have, and some more of the framework. And this looks like it's going to be the spot up on the equator part. One side is the boarding ramp, the other side goes to, I think it's this part here, that part there. So that's going to be some of the framework for that. So that should be cool. So we'll see how issue 23 comes along. And like I said, let me know if you guys like this kind of format of showing everything and just fast forwarding through it. So with that, I'll say thanks for watching, and may the force be with you always.